Welcome back to Destiny Underground. I'm Zach.
I'm PBnLadiez.
Today we're going to take a look at the state of Destiny 2, which is what we get instead of another stream of the lackluster Curse of Osiris DLC. Right off the bat, I already have an issue with the way this blog post started. I don't know if you caught it.
Zach's like, right off the bat, everything sucks.
I don't know if you caught it.
That's rule number one.
But it says, going forward, Destiny 2's post-launch game systems, features, and updates are being designed specifically to focus on and support players who want Destiny to be their hobby. The language used there implies it wasn't already meant to be that. To me. I don't know if it reads that way to you. That's how it reads to me. It's like, I thought this game was always supposed to be the game that you pick to play over other games. Ever since D1, this language implies you didn't want Destiny 2 to be that, and now you do? I don't know. It's in the second paragraph, first sentence, if you want.
No, I see you, yeah, where it says Destiny be their hobby, the game they return to. A game where the friendships are made. We want Destiny to be a game that fits into your life, providing you reasons to log in and play with your friends, clans, and families. Want Destiny to be a world you want to be a part of. I think the, like, fits into your hobby is like a bad, like, it's not necessarily a great line, but they I don't want to say redeem themselves, but they give more insight on what they actually mean with the next two or three sentences. So I have no issue with it. I mean, I want Destiny to be a world I want to be a part of. I want them to make Destiny a world that I want to be a part of, and I want it to be a game that, like, is a place where I can log in and play with, you know, my friends and my clanmates and stuff like that, which currently, I mean, it is, but this is the whole reason why Destiny 2 was, or Destiny 1 was great, was because it was that.
Mm-hmm.
And Destiny 2 hasn't been that. So, I mean, if they want to, if that's their intent, at least I have I have an intent as far as them. Like, I don't know if this is a mission statement per se, but that's what I was asking for. And the last thing we did is, like, I don't know what they want out of Destiny 2. And because I don't know what they want, I don't know what to even, like, critique off of or criticize or set, because I'm just like, we're just kind of like grasping in the air. And us as a community, we're just like, I don't know. I mean, we're just, the only thing we have to go off is what Destiny 1 was. So this is kind of what we have. So, I mean, this is the closest thing that we have to a mission statement, or this is what we want Destiny 2 to be, as we've gotten from the dev team. So it's something. It's transparency. It's something that we were asking for a week ago, if not even that, a couple days ago when we did our episode. So it's good.
This whole blog post seems to just be like a pull back of the curtain. Like, this could almost be the actual development team, like, Word document of things to implement, and they just threw it out here. Because it's just like a bullet list of things that are coming to Destiny. And I'm only going to focus on the ones that are coming on December 5th and December 12th. The things that they promised coming in 2018 don't mean anything to me. They're not tangible. They're not coming soon. They're just 2018. So that doesn't... It's an unfulfilled promise at this point. These ones have specific dates. We'll know exactly when we get to play with the new systems and see what's good. All of it seems to be a positive to me. Too little, too late, maybe? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Like you said, all of this should have been in the game from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the stuff that's coming in 2018 should be marked down, and somebody should be keeping track of it. So, like, I'll bring it up just because, like, we need to hold them to their word. Because, in my opinion, this is only happening because of the backlash and the outreach of the community. Because if it wasn't for us and everybody else going off and saying, hey, like, fix your game, Bungie, I don't think that this would be happening at all. I'm 100% convinced that we would have gotten 2 tokens in the blue, and we would have had the most rewarding public event in the history of Destiny.
All time.
Yeah, because that's exactly what they were happy with feeding us. Like, the less work that you can do and the more money that you can make off of us, that's better. Like, just less manpower, plus more people paying equals better profit. Like, it's not a hard equation.
That's fair. Well, what do you want to talk about first? Cynical. I'm most excited for the Masterworks it's something completely new. It's not something that was in Destiny 1 that we're now getting back. It's something we've never had before. I mean, it's kind of the rerollable perks, yes, but keeping track of your kills that you get with each weapon, both Crucible and Total, that's interesting. Having its own lore screen, that's what it was. Unique tooltips. I think that's the lore. I don't know exactly what tooltips means in game speak, but it's got unique item details, screens, stat trackers. That stuff is cool to me. Like, you get this gun, like, imagine if I had that with Hung Jury, you know, how many kills I had with Hung Jury in the Crucible or whatever. That's awesome.
Yeah, December 12th, they're going to be part of the, it's going to be part of the Masterwork. So it's going to be either like December 5th update or December 12th update is how they're breaking this down, or like a random future unknown date for, you know, track for 2018. The Masterworks are part of the December 12th drop.
Oh yeah, also generating orbs on
have
multi-kills, because supers are a problem in Destiny 2.
That's the thing that I was going to point out, is that, like, looking at this from a PvE or a PvP standpoint, like, both of those are good things, because, like, multi-kills in Destiny 2 are very hard to get, and you should be rewarded for that, considering it's a team firing game instead of more of like a lone wolf high-paced Call of Duty style. So, like, if you can reward it and make you feel like you're getting your supers more, which is another issue that we felt, is that we get, like, the supers once during PvP, and sometimes they get shut down immediately, and it doesn't make you feel powerful at all. If you can get them more consistently, and you know how to get them more consistently, it makes the game funner, and it actually it adds another layer of gameplay to it. So that's good, and it helps you in both PvE and PvP. Makes you want to get Masterwork versions of guns that you feel good with. So it increases, like, hey, maybe this gun isn't best, but I like it, and I can play better with it, so I'm going to try and get Masterwork. So that's good. Masterwork's overall pretty good. The rerollable perks, something that, you know, we've been asking for since day one, I'd expect. So it's something that had to have been added. It was going to be added in the game in some way, and I think they've done it in a decent way, in a way that it keeps their it keeps what they wanted to, like, it keeps their vision of the game, but also gives us what we want and gives more depth and more
reason to hunt guns. Also, I mean, that's what we've been asking for.
You hunt guns and you get your Masterworks and you reroll, and they didn't really say what it takes to reroll unless I missed it. I assume it's going to be something involving, like, the gunsmith and some sort of, like, consumable, or 3 or 4 consumables that you need to reroll on it. I'm not sure. They didn't actually say as far as that, but that's my safest guess. The same way that you used to be able to reroll guns with the gunsmith before. Just, you know, glimmer and legendary shards would be the easiest thing. That's what I imagined. There's no other
overall,
currency.
Masterworks, thumbs up for me.
Yeah, net positive for the most part. Them adding that you can get them over 250, like, overall, it's not a bad thing.
So that's a December 12th thing. You said that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Masterworks. What do you think about armor ornaments? I don't know. You didn't like them in Destiny 1, but that was mostly because of looks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the armor ornaments are bad.
I never like said that armor symbol, which you've been asking for, status symbols.
Yeah, armor ornaments aren't bad. I didn't like them because they look bad, in my opinion. Like, most of the ornaments just look bad, and they were ostentatious, and I like sleeker, like, less, like, you know, I like spikes, and, you know, I want everybody to notice me armor. But, like, that's just a personal design. That's not saying that they're bad, but I think armor ornaments are good. Like, anything to make me look different is good.
What do you think about the way you get armor ornaments now? It's a set of gear, and that gear has things that you have to do while wearing that gear to then unlock the ornament for that gear.
Overall, it's good. It makes me want it forces me, but it incentivizes me to play differently, play with that gear on, and then if I get attached to that gear, I have the option to, like, attach this ornament. And I assume that you can take the ornament on and off this good in Destiny 1. The same way you can.
And it'll also be account wide, which is good.
Yeah. In Destiny 2. So, I mean, armor ornaments were never a bad thing. And this is something that I don't think I talked about on air, but I talked about with you, where it's like, I look like everybody else, so why am I playing this game? I have the same guns as everybody else, so why am I playing this game? Am I doing the exact same thing? But also, why am I doing this game? And they're now saying, hey, we understand that. So, like, here's a reason to play this game. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, it's just going to add, like, and that's what was great about by the end of Destiny 1, is that, like, there were so many different types of armor sets. It was why we were really high on Ethereal Light when they dropped the House of Wolves expansion, is because, like, everybody wasn't going to look the same. You could bring up and play the game and really work. And if you saw somebody with, like, a huge different set, like the Vault of Glass set, for example, when House of Wolves was still open, they had the Ethereal Light. You're like, oh my god, like this person did like this like 5 times at least to like get this armor back. So like they've done this in the game, and the armor ornaments are going to be the exact same thing. It's like if you see somebody with an ornament that like is legitimately hard and it's a challenge, you're gonna be like, wow, they did this thing, and I want to like do that thing too, so I can be cool too.
It's also worth noting that the ornaments go on top of your shaders or mods. So it's going to further customize the look of each armor set. You could be like, I really like the arm ornaments, not the other, so I'm going to wear that with my electric blue shader. You're not going to look like another Guardian wearing the Iron Banner gear with all of the ornaments and a gold shader.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, it like I said, it's great. It adds status symbol, it adds envy, it adds, you know, a reason to play the game. It's like armor ornaments have always been a plus for, like, it wasn't a personal thing, but they've always been a plus, like, for me personally.
So that's coming
like,
December 5th.
Yeah,
You'll
so that's part of the
Vanguard faction armor, Crucible faction armor, Trials of the Nine, Iron Banner, Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, New Monarchy, and the Eater of Worlds raid armor will all have ornaments on December 5th.
They also said, I don't know if this is later in it, but I remember them saying that the Trials and the raid, the lair armor is going to be has a higher chance of being masterwork as well.
Yeah.
And they're going to be slowly adding, I don't know if it's slowly or if it's going to be in like bulk updates, but more stuff is going to be added to the masterwork pool.
Yeah,
so, like,
future plans to extend masterworks to other gear and expose your kill counts in more places.
Yeah. So that's good.
Okay, so
yeah,
armor
raid
ornaments,
and Trials of the Nine.
Another plus. That's 2 for 2 so far. Not bad. Now this is what I'm going to let you talk about the most, because you're the one that sent me the picture of the mock-up gear originally, and this is the changes to faction armor and weapons and the vendor screen. This comes December 12th. Unfortunately, I'd like to have it sooner. But
I mean, it's another
very
week.
Close to the mock-up that we got. It's almost like they took this guy's picture and did it.
Yeah, it's close. Like, it's something that where it should have always been there, to tell you the truth. So this is something that I've been personally clamoring for, is that the fact that, you know, the engrams, I think, are something that should stay. Like, I should still be able to like turn in engrams if I want it, because I want just a random piece of gear. And I think the engrams should be more incentivized. So like, it takes 10 crucible tokens and 15 shards, they're showing on the Shaxx page to get it. But make it take like 7, you know, to get an engram. So like, there's a higher chance, or I spend less of my like currency to get a random piece than I can to buy this piece. But if I want to buy this piece, then I can still do it. It just takes me a little bit more, you know? So I think overall it's a plus. It's something that totally should have been there to start. We'll see how the currency actually works. 10 crucible tokens is still a lot. Like, that's a couple matches, for sure. So it's not like it's going to be something that you can just like grind out and get immediately.
Unless they increase the drop rates. I don't know if they mentioned that or not.
That's something that they talked about a little lower, is increasing the drop rates and making them seem more.
Now, I don't know if you noticed on the Lord Shaxx screen, the weapon has a stopwatch on it. And that's because you'll be able to get the gear all the time, but the weapons will rotate weekly. Yeah,
all 5 armor slots will be present. Weapons will rotate weekly as the factions have them. Credit for engrams. Slots will be unlocked, claiming rewards as factions. The miscellaneous is something that they talked about here, but talked about lower. But I think that's overall a good thing, is that you can pay, you can buy these like almost boosters with your tokens, with your currency. which then further increases this incentive to play these game modes like Crucible or the strikes, which I mean, I don't want to say it weren't being played a lot, but I know the strikes weren't being played a lot. So it increases the incentive on that end, and then you get more rewards from it, and it just kind of like feeds into itself. It's just its own little, like, you know, positive feedback loop.
So it's worth noting slots will be unlocked by claiming reward engrams. To me, I'm interpreting it as if you just log into Destiny 2, you won't be able to buy anything directly from Zavala or Shaxx. You're going to have to level up with him a couple times to like unlock the class mark slot. And then a couple times later, you'll unlock the legs slot. So you're not just going to be able to go in and only buy the gear you want. You're going to have to still, you know, turn in the tokens and increase reputation. So it doesn't completely get rid of that system. For us, we're probably going to have all the slots unlocked already. But for
Yeah,
new
but
players,
you can
no.
buy the miscellaneous. So you can go in and buy the miscellaneous stuff, and then if you're lucky, you'll get more tokens playing there, and then that'll give you more engrams, which you'll be getting more rewards, and then from the engrams, you know, you're getting that gear, and then you're going to just continue to play. And like I said, it's just going to feed into itself of you playing these activities, and then getting this gear and getting the rewards, and turning it in for stuff, and then just back and forth. So, you know, creating your own economy in the game is something that's super important. I think it's something that they're working towards here, because the economy in it itself was broken. So
Okay, so still a plus?
yeah, I mean, it's something that should have been there to start with. Overall, we'll see how it's implemented. This is something that I'm a little bit wary on, but I don't see a world in which they absolutely screw this up. So I think this is something that's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and probably a good thing.
So 3 for 3. The Xur screen, I think we're both in agreement here that it's still kind of shit. It's still kind of lacking.
It's just bare.
The changes to exotics, being able to buy an exotic engram from him that gives you an exotic you don't have, that's cool in the future, but right now I think Destiny 2's exotic pool is kind of lacking, so that's probably why I'm not excited for this.
Overall, it's not great. And as they add more exotics with expansions or time gated events or what have you, like, it'll be more worthwhile. But right now, considering he's sold every exotic and everybody's probably grinded for every exotic, it's probably accurate. Like, there's probably some that you don't have on like other characters. You're not your main character, but overall, like, it's good. Like, I'm not saying it's not good, but it doesn't help like your hardcore players all that much. But it's going to help people just getting into the game for sure.
I'm going to call it a 3.5 out of 4 for me.
I think
for other people.
The 3 of coins needs to be mentioned, because that's going to be something that's super important. It's
3
something
of
that
coins. I like the way it works now better. You use it, and then for 4 hours, you get an increased rate of exotics. You don't have to pop it after every boss. You don't have to worry about, should I stack it? Should I not stack it? Is it a hidden number? No, you just pop it. 4 hours later, pop another one.
Assuming that it's not bottlenecked or throttled
or hidden
after like the
by
second
some
hour.
XP. Yeah, you know, not that it's impossible.
I don't know. Yeah, I wish that personally, if I were to add something to Xur's screen, I think that the ability to purchase exotic ornaments would be nice, whether it just be like a rotating exotic ornament, the same way they have rotating weapons at the very end of like the vendor screens, where you just get that opportunity to buy one, similar to how you could buy like a pack. Maybe you buy like a pack of the exotic gear, so like the one weapon that he's selling, if you want to buy it, you can buy like the ornament
with the ornament.
Yeah, or something like that. What I would do is I would make it like I don't want to say a loot box, but essentially like an engram, like a random thing, but jack the price up. So like make it, you know, like 20,000 glimmer and like 50 legendary shards, something like that, to where like you can't really grind it. Like if you wanted to grind it out, you can. It'll take a while, but you could still grind it out. But it's not something that where you could go through in a weekend and then just like, you know, keep hitting it and have every ornament. But you should still be able to get ornaments and all your cosmetics from in the game, instead of being able to just have to buy them via bright engrams or get your 3 bright engrams a week and you know, I have to deal with that. So I would add that, if that's one thing I had to add.
I would
just
bring
to
back
round out
the Sparrow fusion drives.
Yeah, because the sparrows are another thing that you can only get from Bright Ingram. So if you could buy like a sparrow from him or something like that, like if you could buy, if you could like have a loot box that was all of the exotics inside of the Bright Ingram or Eververse store from him, that would be something that would be totally worthwhile. And I swear to God, you would get so much more interaction with Sir with that. People would actually go there and say, "Oh, I have like, you know, I have 600 Bright Ingram or 600 you know, legendary shards and 100,000. I can get some stuff and I can go get some more glimmer and, you know, back and forth and back and forth. And people are getting what they're wanting. They're getting, you know, legendary or exotic cosmetics, which is what you want people to have. You want people to have it. Then if people see it, this is what I'm talking about with the armor ornaments or anything. If people see it, that you have it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, how'd you get it?" "Well, I got it from Xur." And they go play the game to go get the thing from Xur, which is what you want us to do.
Yep.
So,
okay.
just
so, Xur needs improvement. Step in the right direction. Needs improvement. Let's move on down to Bungie and his updates on the weapon and armor mod front, December 5th. Mods
Bungie has some updates
there right now for me in the game. I got my set of gear and I put an arc mod on every single one of them because the class recharges are entirely slow. So I don't even play with the mod system because I can't sacrifice ability recharges in my playstyle to even play with it because they're just abysmal. So this is going to be hit or miss for me. I don't know that I'll use it because they're still not changing the ability recharge rates. So I don't have a lot to say about it.
I mean, for people who like really want to grind out these mods and like really get like their gear sets and customize them, I think it's good because it allows you to have the ability to get different mods instead of like grinding for years and not ever having like an idea of what you're getting. Like overall, everything that's happening here is you have goals and you know how to attain these items that you want to attain, even though it may take longer. It may take the same amount of time as you were doing it before. At least you have an idea of how you're going to get to from point A to point B. And that's what I think is good about the mods, is that there are people who are grinding their faces off for these kinetic mods and they just didn't know how they were going to get them. It was just luck of the draw. Whereas here, you get your mod components or you get your rares, and if you dismantle them, you might get some mod components, and then you might be able to buy it from Bungie, and then you have your kinetic mod. Boom, right there, too easy. Yeah. So you know what steps you need to take to get to the goal that you need. So overall, like even if the mod system isn't necessarily for you or maybe for me, I think that it's good that they're implementing another system in which you know how to get the thing that you want, which is what this is all about. If you want us to show off our gear and like really customize our Guardian, make it known how we get it. It doesn't matter how long it takes us to get it or what we need to jump through. We'll do it. Just let us know how we can get it. So I think overall, the changes that they're making to it are good, especially with them being on rotation. So that's good. The changes to you getting, maybe, I don't know what the chances are, but the dismantling the wares and getting mod components, that's good. So overall, I'd say it's a plus. It'll make me feel like I want to play with the mods more because I feel like I'm going to get more of them. Whereas like the mods were so hard to get, especially some of the rarer ones. I just didn't want to put them on my gear because if I didn't like it or if it didn't work, then like I'm out that mod. Plus the glimmer that I had to put on there. So it's going to make it incentivized me to play more around with the mods at least. So that's true. I think it's a plus.
December 5th, also, we're going to be bringing back a Destiny 1 feature where Raul's going to sell legendary Ingrams again. That needed to be taken out for some reason. It's back. That's not a positive. That should have been there. This at least a plus.
Raul's going to sell legendary Engrams that, I don't know, like are useful, because he never sold legendary Engrams that were useful.
Not light.
I was like, why are you doing this, Raul? Yeah, so I mean, you know, because of the system that they made where like the vendors are always going to sell you like this level stuff, like it's less of a disrespectful thing for Rahul to sell like Engrams, so it's fine. And then also, here you get the Masterworks or the world legendaries. Yeah, either one. December 12th, you were talking about the gift consumables. What you didn't hit on is that a possible drop for using one is a round of exotics for everyone in the match. This is going to really be cool. Like, it's going to incentivize people to buy these. It's going to incentivize people to play together, because if somebody pops that consumable, right,
and then the match ends and you see in the feed everybody got an exotic. That's a good feeling. It's gonna make everybody happy. They're gonna feel like even if they lost that match, they got something out of it because it's for friend or foe. So everybody in that lobby gets an exotic. That's a really cool reward.
Yeah, so I mean, even anything like I said at the very bottom of like their tier list, from the way it sounds, it's more faction tokens. I mean, more faction tokens now that I have something to spend them on,
Yeah.
and I know what I'm going to spend them on, and I have a goal to spend them for, aren't bad. So like the miscellaneous items or the gift items are that's not a bad thing at all. It's 100% a positive. So yeah, I mean, you pop it, you do it, you get it, you get something, you feel good for getting something, you go and you spend it, and you spend more of your in-game currency on this. You play more of the game, and then it just keeps on going. Keeps on going.
December 12th, exploit safeguards, also known as anti-farm, because farming is bad in MMOs. They're going to reduce all of that. There'll never be a chance anymore where you open a chest and then the second chest has a 0% chance of giving you a token. At the worst, you'll have a 30% chance to get a token. It's still not what I would like. I mean, we had our routes in Destiny 1 where we could literally run around and just pop all the chests, and if that's how we chose to play the game, we should be allowed to do that. But it's a step in the right direction. It's going to make me feel better, because there were many times where I would just see, like, and I wouldn't even be trying to farm, I would just see 3 of, like, the arcane things on IO or Titan or whatever it is, and then I just grab them, but the second 2 would give me nothing because I was apparently farming or exploiting them just by naturally going through the destination. So this is a step in the right direction for me. The next one below that, it's not going to take long.
It's not frustrating.
Vendors will beckon you to hand in your reputation tokens only when you're carrying enough to earn a reward engram. That just sounds like a bug, because I've had them like have a mark over their head where I go to talk to them and I can't do anything because I have like 12 tokens. Yeah. I'm not sure why this is taking this long to fix. That's a bug to me. But yeah, I like the exploit safeguards being reduced. Still would like them to go away completely, but I'm not going to get that.
I mean, considering that they don't really, they're increasing the destination resource tokens, their drop rates and their value overall, but their value is so little right now that you know, if you want to spend your time running around on Titan from barge to barge collecting the little, like, you know, like molecule looking things, go for it, man.
Yeah,
have fun. You know, it's not going to be the most worthwhile like investment of your time, and you're not going to be like upgrading or getting gear at the highest rate that you can be. But if that's what you want to do, go for it. But I guess it's not what they want. So,
and the last item on the list, changes affecting reputation tokens. So they are increasing reputation rewards across the board. That's a good.
Yeah, because they needed to be up. Because I mean, more rewards now. You shouldn't be like getting so much gear that you don't have anything. You have no idea what to do.
Well, let's like, jump down a couple dots though, where it says on the balance, they're increasing the amount it takes to rank up by 37% for destination factions and 50% for gunsmith.
I don't know if that's going to balance itself out. The gunsmith I felt was perfect because of the amount of guns that I was getting and I was dismantling. So I thought that was great. Granted, there were people with so many gunsmith token materials that they just didn't know what to do with. They were just like, I'm not turning him in because he's not giving me anything good. But now they'll have a reason to do it because of the masterwork weapons. Yeah. And having a chance to have that drop, and then, you know, all that good stuff. I mean, more tokens are good. Like more tokens are great. You should increase the chance of that, because if I get more tokens, I'm gonna play the game more. I'm gonna get the rewards, and if I don't get the rewards that I want, it doesn't matter because it doesn't take me as long to get the necessary amount of tokens, hopefully, to do the thing. So
cage chests also here are guaranteed at a minimum to drop a payout of destination appropriate reputation tokens. So there'll be a reason to do that. Before, the reason was you might get an exotic, but if you didn't, you got useless little lore bits. Now there's a reason to do that.
I mean, the lore bits were fun. I liked them.
For us.
But I mean, sometimes
for the
you
game economy, maybe not so much.
If you were really like unlucky, there were people who would do all 5 and just get blues, and I'd be like, oh, it sucks to be you because you spent like 60% of your glimmer on that. So, but I mean, that's the name of the game. It's not guaranteed, but I don't think that rewards should be guaranteed. They should never be guaranteed. But I guess increasing the drop rate of the cage chests aren't bad because they were fairly abysmal from what I had read. I never had an issue with it, but
and
whatever.
I'll let you take it away for the final topic because you had some good thoughts before we hit record on the XP mechanics section here that they have, where they're kind of trying to blanket statement this whole thing and try to push it under the rug.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of this just sounds like, I don't know, like I don't know what the right word here is for. It just doesn't sound great, because if you had taken away, because we figured out that they were bottlenecking our stuff. That's essentially that's 100% guaranteed. And they took away our bottleneck, and then they just increased the amount of time that we needed to play the game
by double
from 80 to 100. And I don't understand why that was necessary. I don't, for the Clarion Call event specifically, I don't know why they just didn't give everybody a well-rested bonus of 300% for everything. Like, you're making me play the game more for, these Bright Engrams that are going away, and I don't. The whole thing's disappointing because everything that they're talking about here is about like it not reflecting the way they want to. But this isn't something that that happens accidentally, as far as I'm concerned. It's not something that I actually can.
You don't discover that it's not working as intended. This is something that when you program the math, it's working exactly how the formula says it needs to. One more thing, I skipped over it, but I've been asking for it forever, is they didn't mention how it's going to work or what it's going to be, but you'll be able to have all 4 of the exotic emotes equipped at once.
Yeah, that was part of the...
It sounds like a emote wheel to me, but it also is all of the exotics only. Like, here's more reason to buy our Bright Engrams because it takes twice as long to get them now. It should be for all emotes. And I don't know if they're going to do it where you replace your 4 buttons with each emote. I guess that's fine, but I'd rather where you hold left, brings up a wheel, use the right analog stick to select like one of your 8 equipped emotes or something. I mean, that's standard video game menus since 2006, so it's not like they can't do it. Making it exotic only, I don't like that.
I mean, we don't know if it's that specifically. They didn't say if it was exotic only, but they did
only the exotic Engrams.
They did name only the exotic, so that we can only take them at face value because they really don't like they've sort of lost, as far as I'm concerned, they've lost the benefit of the doubt as far as the community goes, or like they should have lost the benefit of doubt as the community goes. We shouldn't just immediately take them back as like some sort of jilted lover. That they are, just say, oh, everything's fine. They've apologized. They're seeing the error of their ways. And I mean, if they have, then that's fine. They choose to be more transparent, but only time will tell on something like this. Everything that they've said looks good. Most of what's being added should have already been there, should have been included in the game.
I'm not mixing words on that. This is all stuff that was in Destiny 1 in some form or other, except the Masterworks, so it should have been in there, but it's still good to see them doing it. It's a step in the right direction. They are not forgiven in my eyes one bit. I still wouldn't purchase Curse of Osiris if I hadn't already purchased it, if that's fair to say.
I don't, like I said, I don't think that they get the benefit of the benefit of the doubt. I really do think that this is something that wouldn't have changed, especially the experience thing. The experience thing was 100% going to be throttled for sure, and I think that the more that I think about it, the more that I'm almost 100% sure that they were throttling from the start to try and increase and incentivize Bright Engrams, especially during the Clarion Call event, because they are going away into something that is, you call it what you will, but they're status symbols. It makes you feel cool. It makes you say, hey, I don't have this. Look at me.
Just cosmetics. They're still a part of the game that you bought and you're playing. A lot of people wipe away microtransactions and say, well, it's only cosmetics. It's not. It's still a part. I mean, when you play an old game and you can unlock costumes, anybody that plays Mario Odyssey and says those costumes aren't a part of the game is full of themselves.
So, I mean, I do think that they need to, and they won't, but they do need to address Eververse. That's something that isn't being addressed here. They need to address Eververse. Allow me, in the very least, to choose what I want to purchase with my money that I'm giving you, instead of assuming that I won't purchase it by then tricking me into, or what I feel like you're tricking me into buying these loot boxes because you don't think I'm actually going to spend the money. So you think I'm just going to spend $15 on loot boxes and not get what I want. And then say, oh, I'll just spend $5 more instead of me just spending the $5 that I want and then coming back and being like, oh, this looks cool, I'll spend $5 more, So it's a transparency thing, and it's something that they say they want to work on. But the fact that they're not adjusting the microtransactions, they're not saying exactly what they're doing for the XP, leaves me a little weary, as well as a lot of things that they're saying for the January or farther on update. They're not giving exact specifics on what's happening. Like they're saying that they're targeting better incentives to complete prestige activities, but didn't necessarily say what. They're giving back private matches for Crucible, but that's something that should have definitely been in the game. Regardless, they're introducing a quitter penalty, which for people who play a lot of Crucible, especially the competitive thing, should have definitely been in the game already. They're going to be changing the mod economy as they go forward, so that's something that they did say that will be updated in the new year, so that's good. And they're going to be looking at, and you said the emote interface is something that we've been asking for since emotes were introduced with Eververse and Destiny 1.
Yep.
So a simple wheel that takes no time to program from a GUI standpoint, and something to where we can, from muscle memory, choose the emote would be super simple. And then last but not least, they're saying they're going to fine-tune exotics, which is something that is super necessary because exotics don't feel exotic. Like part of the issue with Destiny too, because of the, I don't want to say oversimplification, but the, I guess, streamlining of the game in general, is that you don't feel as powerful as you used to, and the exotics are part of that. Like you want to feel like you have this really cool piece of gear that only really slightly modifies how you play, and since they have weapon and armor mods, it takes away from that even more. It takes just another level of that to where you can get a similar effect from most of your armor or weapon mods, or even have a better effect, truthfully.
Yep.
So
overall,
I'm still wary.
This post is a positive step in the right direction. You and I are veterans, so we're not ready to just drop our pants and let them back into our lives. We're gonna see what they do.
Like, this is stuff, like, I'm going to say this again, but this is something that I don't think, and other people may disagree, but that you take the standpoint that this is something that they were going to add into the game. But I truthfully don't think a lot of things were going to be changed on. I think we need to continue to say, hey, these are good, continue to do this, but also say, hey, this isn't working, or hey, we also this. So continue to let your voices heard, continue to
don't stop beating down on them,
talk,
because that clearly it works.
So yeah, this is something that I don't think would have been added in. Still weary of it, but I'm glad that they're at least taking into effect and listening and trying to get it changed.
Yep. Okay, so next week we will be logging in for the first time in a month to play Destiny 2, Curse of Osiris. Maybe the day after, depending on downloads of patches and all that. But we'll be logging in and playing Destiny 2, and we'll have some more stuff to talk about. It'll be exciting. This episode has already gone on long. It's nice to actually have Destiny things to talk about again. It's good. I don't want the game to die. I don't want the series to die. I just want Bungie to know that we are the customer, and we need to be listened to. So it's a step in the right direction. I'm going to end it here, unless you have more to say. And your video froze, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with the outro. This has been Destiny Underground. See you guys next week. Eyes up, Guardians.